What's up, everybody? It's the Devious Monk, your man Uncle D here once again. And I was talking to a friend of mine. I don't know what's going on, and I really don't know what I'm about to say. Let me say that. Let me preface this by because there's a whole lot of thoughts that I'm trying to get together at once, and maybe y'all can help me get them together because I'm trying to understand. And this will piggyback off of what I talked about last week or last time on the last podcast. I was thinking about everything that we are told not to be. All the things that we are told not to be. All the things that we have grown up saying that we can't be, that you shouldn't be, that it's wrong to be, that is a thing that you never want to be. And examining why it is that those things might be, that people are telling you that you don't want to be those things. And I was looking at some of the things. Now, okay. When I did my last podcast, Devious Fridays, I think I told this story. I don't think I told it here though, so I'm going to tell it here. When I was in college, again, for those of you who don't know, I went to college in Alabama, Talladega College, the oldest black college in Alabama. And my philosophy professor was my hero. I love Dr. John D. White. That man was. We thought he should run for president, and only until you get this age do you understand why smart people don't run for president. You have to not be too intelligent, or you have to be able to emotionally and psychologically disconnect from a whole lot of horror in order to endure that, or you have to be completely ignorant and be willing to disregard a whole bunch of things. But that aside, Dr. John D. White was talking about different things that we have, different things as humans that we have that. Okay, so let's say that there are some of you that may be able to sing, right? Some of you can sing, and there are some people who cannot hold a tune. For the life of them, they cannot get it together. We've seen them. I won't say no names, but we've seen them out there in the world, right? Can't hold the tune to save your life. Can't keep rhythm, none of that. Some people are born with the ability to dance, natural rhythm. You see little babies, videos of little babies who nobody has ever taught them a step, getting down because some music has come on, right? And there are some people who can't keep a two-step to save their lives. And then he said this. He said, those are gifts. There's some people who are born with those things, and there's some people who are not. Some of us have it, some of us don't. Like homosexuality. Some people are born with the ability to love the same person of the same sex, and some people are not. Some people are just born with the ability to love somebody of the opposite sex and not the same sex. It's a gift. Some people have the gift of being able to do certain things, and some people have the gift of, or you don't have that gift. Some people are able to sing, some people are able to dance, and some people are able to love somebody who is the same sex as them. And even though I'm gay, that messed me up. I had never in my entire life heard something like that. What? It was damn near blasphemy. I was like, wait, whoa. But he's right. And I just want you to hold on to that idea as we get ready to go through whatever madness is about to come out of my mouth, because I really have no idea. Because what I do is I just have a few points that I just want to throw out there. Like I said, everything that we are told not to be, we are told not to be gay. That is one thing that, particularly in the black community, no black man wants to be gay, no black woman wants to be gay. And it only stands to reason to me that they would tell you that if they want you to always be producing children for them. Let that sink in. Only somebody who has something to benefit from that particular action. Because there has to be a benefit there. And you have to look for where the fuck the benefit is. Because the benefit isn't to you. It's depriving you of the ability, whether you have it or not, even the option of loving somebody who is the same sex as you, because you might find that pleasurable. Which would then mean you might enter into a relationship where there will be no children produced. And that goes against their grand design. They want you constantly and by accident and without any forethought producing people. They want you to always get horny. That's why they always show in movies and things where there is an undertone of sex. That's why sex sells. They want you always horny. They want you always producing. Just like this woman who was working for this top lobbying agency, in Washington, D.C., white woman. She's sitting at a hockey game on her phone. Dumbass. Sitting at a hockey game on her phone. There's a black woman behind her. She's having a conversation with somebody, and they're talking about how black people are this and black people are that, and black people just reproduce all the time without this, that, and the third. And the black woman is taking shots, is taking pictures, and she sent it to one of these internet, what do you call them, influencers. Who that's his thing. When you do something out of pocket that's racist or homophobic or something like that, he finds out who the fuck you are, and then he lets people loose on you. And it's bananas. Like, you got to see it. What's his name? Tizzy Entertainment. If you ever Tizzy Entertainment, it's a whole thing. You got to be ready. So she sent the black woman she's upset. She sends the video, the pictures to Tizzy Entertainment. Tizzy finds out that this woman works for one of the top lobbying agencies in Washington, D.C. So the guy, I don't know his real name, the guy who does the Tizzy Entertainment thing, who owns that branded label, he finds out who this woman is, where she works, and everything. And of course sends all that information to her employer, who the woman who was over her was a black woman. Her boss was a black woman. Which to me just explained the whole thing. It explained the whole thing. You are a white woman, a middle-aged white woman, mediocre, and you think that you should have her position, and you hate the fact that this bitch is your boss. You hate it. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, sugar. You don't have to worry about that anymore because she's fired. Yeah, they showed the letter where they said, we don't stand for this, and she has been let go. See, this is the mentality that you all have been swept up in for a while, and you don't see that it is a fucking, what are these brush fires that is getting ready to turn into a wildfire. It's bananas, because you do not understand historically why you even feel that way. You haven't had enough contact with black women for you to form that opinion, first of all. You haven't. You haven't had enough contact with black women personally. You might have professionally, but you haven't personally for you to form that opinion. But you are in watchdog mode for white men and white supremacy. You are in watchdog mode for capitalism. You are in watchdog mode for the entire Christian national movement. You are in watchdog mode just like they have put you, where they have put you. You forget that you are the same chattel that you are watching over. You forget you're in a prison too. Sweetie, you aren't like the warden. You don't go home at night. You get a bunk too, bitch. You get a motherfucking bunk too. You are in the prison with everybody else. You just don't realize it. The inmates run this motherfucking asylum. Please understand. The inmates are running the motherfucking asylum, because when you have white women who are the largest users of all the DEI initiatives in the country, when you have them shitting on black women who initiated and fought to get these initiatives pushed through, you have white women shitting on the women who actually produced this shit for you, who made it so that you could sit in your motherfucking job under a black woman making all that goddamn money. You forget all of that. See, they have you in the illusion that you have power and that you are part of the system that is going to be. You're a watchdog, bitch. All of you white women are watchdog. All of you white women who work in white supremacy, you understand what I'm saying? Please don't, be offended if you're a white woman and that's not your thing. You know who I'm talking about. This particular white situation in which I'm referring to, because whiteness even isn't a thing. If you are a person that is called white in this country and you don't know the actual nationality of your people, you are the one in trouble. You think you saying something by telling us to go back where we came from. Bitch, go back where the fuck you came from. There's still caves over there for you to crawl back up in. There's still caves over there for you to crawl back up in. But you think that you are over here as a master of the universe, and you are not. You are part of the asylum. You are an inmate in the asylum, and you are doing nothing but guarding other motherfucking prisoners. And black women do it too. Yes, black women, you do it too. You kick down on gay men, gay women, other people of color from other countries who don't have the credentials to be in this country. I've heard you, some of you do. Not all of you. But here's the way it is. This is the insidious part, because it's not the people on the internet who are doing it. It's the people in our neighborhoods who walk into a store where the person who owns the store may not be from this country, and you mock them, even though they're taking your fucking money. You think it's funny to go into the Chinese store and mock the lady behind the counter, but she's got your money. You think it's funny to laugh at the Asians in the hair shop, but she's got your money. And she's taking it out of your community and into hers. And it ain't gonna leave hers for a while. It's gonna build things and create things and all types of stuff. Yours is going to hair, nails, shit like that. So while you're mocking them and you're kicking down on other people, remember that you too are in this fucking prison. You too are in the asylum. You too are one of the people who think that you are a guard. You think you get to go home at the end of the day. You're still in the compound, sweetie. You're here with the rest of us. You kick down on black men too. That's the favorite punching bag. And then black men turn around and do it. Yeah, nigga. You, the one who don't talk to your brother and your friend about staying out of drugs and staying out of illegal activities that will make them end up in jail and become a part of the system that we are trying to dismantle. You, who keep ending up back into that same situation and blaming black women for all of the problems in your life. You. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. You who kick down on gay men and women even though they are the same color as you and have the same fight as you and have to fight twice as hard as you. You are still in this asylum. And then some of you go to actual jail. Many of you go to actual jail. You get caught up in the system. And I have to say, see, here's the slippery slope. Here's where we get ready to ride and glide, because this is where it swings from one side of the pendulum to the other, because we have a whole bunch of black men who make black mothers single mothers, and then we have black mothers who raise sons who then create other single mothers out of black, and we keep doing that dumbass shit. All you are doing is creating children to go into this system for these people to make billions of dollars off of, which is why now the billionaires are taking over the country, and they don't think that it's a problem, but it is. We have to stop being a problem to one another. We have to stop thinking that it's okay to spend our time and energy kicking down on somebody that we think is less than them, even though that person is in the same fight and struggle as you. How do you fight somebody who has to fight the same person that you fight? Men are the apex predators of the planet. White men are the insidious, nastiest devils that we can fight. They are the putrid, nasty excrement that comes at the end of a long, long, long evolution. And we have let them somehow slip into power in this country. We think we have allowed it for too fucking long, and we have allowed it to the point that now they are doing what the fuck they are doing, and now we think that we're upset, and we haven't. Here's the part. We're not even upset enough. In France, the farmers came and dumped manure and shit into the middle of the highway because the government wasn't taking care of the farmers. Where is our outrage? Where is our outrage? We always talking about being woke and all the rest of this, and this shit happened. Where is our action? We have to stop. If you saw my last video, you know what that means already. Because that's what's going to stop it. All of these boycotts and this, that, and the third, that's a whole bunch of stuff spread out over a long period of time. Take 3 days and everybody motherfucking stop. My boss is gonna write me up. Your boss ain't gonna be there because your boss stopped too. That's what we have to be right about now. But we're so busy believing that we have time to nitpick on people who are fighting with us. And that's exactly what they want us to do. As long as we keep the fight focused on one another, we can't look at the people who are really causing the problem. How do you let a group of people who, when they get together in DC, routine, now this has been for a couple of cycles now, the gay hookup app has to add more servers. These are the same motherfuckers who are talking about trans people raping your kids and shit like that. These are the same motherfuckers who are in your church preaching to you on Sunday, and you listen to them and you give them money. It's the same motherfuckers. It's the same motherfuckers. The government and the church, same thing. They gonna get your money this way, or they get your money this way. The church teaches you to obey the government shows you how to obey the church. It is indoctrination from both institutions from the time you are young. Starting with school, they begin there. They begin with school, which is now a government institution. They begin early. They want you at 5. Actually, some places will enroll you at 3. So there are some daycare agencies that take you at 6 months. They want your children. That's all they want. They want you to continue to create more people, to create wealth for them. And we don't see that. We have pride in our families. In these huge families that we have had, that many of us have struggled to take care of for no fucking reason. Just to say that we had a big family. Because we didn't use birth control. Because we didn't plan well. Because it wasn't talked about. It wasn't a thing that we did. You know why? Because we come from a history where they used us to breed. Like the chattel we were. You all seem so removed from that and don't see how you are that now. You get up and go and clock into a place every day, and you send your children to another place to clock in. And you still don't see how you're chattel. They let you out at a certain time every single day. You fight through a whole bunch of other herded animals trying to get home to yours. You're chattel. You are nothing. This is an asylum. It's a self-maintained asylum where crazy motherfuckers do the same shit every day expecting a different result. Every day, motherfuckers, millions of motherfuckers get up thinking that going to work is going to change their lives and make it better. Has it? Has it? But you're scared to miss 3 days to change the country. You're scared to miss 3 days to change the country, but you've been working for the same company for 30 years and your life has not changed. What's wrong? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? No, quick. What is it? You are trained. You are an animal. And what's funny about it is the type of animal we are. We are the only type of animals on this motherfucking planet who think it's okay to be ruled. We are the only animals on this planet that believe it is okay to be ruled. There is no other thing on this. There are natural laws that govern every society from plant to animal on this planet, and we are the only ones who have allowed people to write it down and make us not do things that they don't want us to do, and never find out what we truly want to do. You can't even find out who the fuck you are. You are afraid of that. You are afraid of who you could possibly be because everybody has told you who you have to be. Your mother has told you who you have to be. Your parents, let me say that because I don't know if it's your mother, father who raised you, whoever raised you. They've told you who you have to be. Your society, your school has told you who you have to be. The people in your neighborhood have told you who you have to be. The people at the corner store have told you who you have to be. In church or the mosque have told you who you have to be. Everybody has decided who you have to be. You don't even know freedom. You've never known freedom your entire life, and you think you live in a free country. You have no idea what it is to be free. That's why black men hate gay men. It's the freedom. You hate somebody being that free. You hate somebody being able to express themselves in ways that you cannot. Because you have been told that you can't. You have been told that is unmanly. You have been told that it is a sissy thing if you do X, Y, and Z. If you cry, you're a sissy. We have been stulted and chipped away from and broken and bent and transmogrified into things that we don't even recognize right about now. Most of us don't even recognize ourselves. We don't even know who the fuck we are. We don't even spend enough time trying to understand who it is we are. They told you if you talk to yourself, you're crazy. They told you to pray to God outside of you in heaven, right? Tap in if I fuck up. You got to pray outside of yourself to get something. So you are always looking for a savior outside of you to fix something. And there's nothing outside of you that can fix anything. The people who told you that know that. Which is why they told you to give, that what they have essentially said is, give us your energy to do with what we will. And you have said yes. Because you pray outside of yourself when you are the God. You are the creator. You are the only thing that can bring something new into your life. But you are told to wait on God. Even in the book, it says some shit about lean not on thine own understanding. Proverbs 3:5. Right? Why would you not listen to yourself? Who benefits from you not listening to yourself? Come on, people. Come on, critical thinking skills. Who benefits from you not thinking for yourself? People who want to control your thinking and your actions are the people who benefit from you not thinking for yourself. And you have, yes, like the Eddie Murphy's bride in Coming to America, as you like, whatever you like. That's what we still doing. Whatever you like. We raised little black boys and set them on a path for prison by never telling them what a man is, but telling them everything that they can't be. You can't cry. You can't do this. You can't jump rope. You can't do this. But what is being a man? Getting bitches? Getting money? Come on, help me. What do y'all tell young men to be boys? Be strong. What does that mean? What does that mean? Man up. What does that mean? If you've never done it before, how the fuck will you know what it is to do it? How do you know? You have in essence followed a plan that was created before you were born, put in action prior to your parents' existence, and still permeates society today. You have continued to follow the formula. You have given your mind, the minds of your children, away to people who are going to use that energy in ways against you. They're going to use it to repress you, suppress you, and depress you. And we haven't stopped them yet. They are headed to Social Security right now to take all of that away. They've taken Medicaid, they've taken, you know the list, I don't have to run that down. And we haven't stopped them. What do we think is going to happen if we all go? All. As many as can possibly make it, we just all go. What do we have to lose? See, that's the other thing, is we keep thinking that we have something to lose. As people of color, as black people, as people who either came from Africa or were here already and forced into bondage, there's nothing that hasn't been done to us already. You've killed us, you've beaten us, you've eaten us, you've forced us into bondage, you've raped us, you have neglected us, you have the list goes on. You've killed our babies in front of us. You've raped wives and mothers and children. You've had sons sleep with their mothers and their sisters and their aunts. You ate Nat Turner. And most of the mummies that they found in Egypt, white people ate them. So yeah, I can't say that enough. And these are the people that we listen to. These are the people that are running the country. These are the people who are designing our future right now. And we aren't mad. Not enough. We still think we have a responsibility to our employer, to our job, to our society to get up and go and continue to put in labor. We still think we have to continue to go and put in labor. All of our debt has been paid in sweat and blood. It is just time for us to claim it. And we have to do it as a collective. It can't be done in dribs and drabs. It has to be done as a collective. I don't understand why we don't understand that this is the bondage system that we have created, that we feed into. See, in World War II, nobody had to convince the Germans. Hitler didn't have to convince the Germans that that there was something wrong with the Jews. They were in agreement with him. We don't see that the people of this country are in agreement with them. All right, this is completely off the rails. And I know I've said this before, but I'm not going to be satisfied until we have our own government. And I mean black people in this particular country. We need our own government. We need our own system of justice, because there's no, what are the words? Hold on. Justice, truth, and privacy. We have no barometer for justice in this country. No real barometer, because every case is decided according to its own merit. So there's no basis really for justice. We just have parameters by which we punish people. There's no barometer for privacy, because they just took and got access to all of our information in Washington. Information that we were assured is secure. A private citizen who wasn't elected by anybody and hasn't been hired by anybody to do these particular things is doing this. And we still believe that we should get up and go to work in the morning. And the last thing, and I'm not even going to hold you today, is truth. And I save truth for last because we have no level playing field for truth in this country, in our society in general. We don't talk about truth and what is actual truth or what should be. There's no standard of truth. Your truth is your truth and my truth is my truth. And that's the reality of the situation. See, so when we try and make laws that affect everybody, right? Knowing that everybody's truth is different, how do we justify that? If my truth is different from yours and I commit a crime based on the truth that I believe, it's not a crime in my truth. But according to y'all, it's a crime. How do we account for that? How do we make up for that? I'm not sure. What I do know, there are 3 things we need to give up. I was listening to a podcast clip by Dr. Umar. Money, time, and brainwashing, the 3 things that religion and the government have perpetrated against us since we've gotten here. They've taken our money over and over again, because in this country, there's nothing that you just pay for one time. You pay for everything over and over again in taxes, from the things you eat to the things you buy, no matter where you live, it doesn't matter, and it's getting ready to get worse if you already know what that whole story is. The amount of time that we have given to religion could have been put to a worthier cause, a much worthier cause. See, because I can't have that conversation, I'm not ready. But the last one, well, I guess we got to, because the last one is brainwashing. So I guess we have to go a little bit into what it is. the fact that you all believe such incredulous things as adults, and then you demonize children and tell children you shouldn't be believing in that, in Santa Claus anymore, you too old. You believe in this virgin getting pregnant. You believe that this man walked on top of an ocean. You believe he raised people back from the dead. Party a whole sea. And you've never seen any of that happen in your experience. None of it. But yet you choose to believe it. Children can't believe in the tooth fairy, but you can believe in Jesus. Listen, I'm not saying that in the book some of the words that they have attributed to Jesus aren't pretty good, but y'all don't even follow them. If the people who said that they were followers of Jesus actually followed the words that Jesus said, this world would be fucking amazing. Y'all do everything, and the people who come and sit in the pews and listen to the people who do the spews. See, there's pews and spews. There's the people who spew the bullshit, and the people in the pews who absorb it. Right? So, you with me? Right. So, the people in the pews that sit and listen to the spew all of this shit that they know is contrary not only to nature, not only to their experience, contrary to logic. It's just contrary to everything that you can possibly find interesting and comfortable in your whole mind. And they will tell you that this is what you're supposed to believe, simply to get you in the habit of believing bullshit. Simply to get into the habit of being obedient and believing whatever it is somebody tells you. That's what that whole thing is about, to get you pliable. To get your mind to the point where it is corruptible. Because otherwise you would ask for proof and experience. You would need proof and experience for any of the things, any of the claims that are happening, and the people who told you those things, if there was any righteousness in them, would give you proof and experience. Because they cannot offer such and give you words such as faith and hope, and you eat it. That's like eating a bowl full of air. We eat it. We've eaten it for centuries. We haven't asked for proof. We always talk about, girl, keep receipts. Man, you better get receipts. Where are we? We don't have no receipts for this bullshit here. And I think part of it is just that as a whole people, I think that we have believed it so long that we are embarrassed about wanting to give it up. Because in the other part, there's a contingency of people who are embarrassed and hold on to it simply because they don't know what else it is out there to believe. The terror of what?
Because that's the thing. That's the catching with
that is. I have to thank you. That's the for any stragglers on. If you feel like you straggling, with believing whatever it is they say, they throw hell in there just to push you over the line. Hell is there to make sure that if you ever have any doubts about what it is they're saying, you punish yourself. You punish yourself by thinking that you're going to hell. That's as far as it's going to go. You punish yourself by thinking you're going to hell. You punish yourself by thinking you're going to be punished. That is punishment in and of itself. It's fucking diabolical. It's when they talk about the greatest trick that the devil ever played was convincing the world that he didn't exist. No. The greatest trick ever played is this bullshit here. Believing that there is a hell, so that if you don't believe there's a hell, you believe you're going to hell. So I'm going to a place I don't even believe in exists. That's like going to the North Pole. Like Santa's workshop, the North Pole. When nobody's gonna get there either. So I say this stuff, and I'm very flippant with the way that I say it. I'm very mocking. I'm aware of that, and I do that intentionally because fuck y'all. This is bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. If the things that you sit and believe you can't prove in nature, you can't recreate them in nature, I don't know what there is for you to hold on to. I don't. I was on social media, you know I'm always on social media, and I put something up and somebody responded. It had to do with belief. I put up a picture of the sun, and next to it was a bigger star. And the sun is like this big next to this other star in the galaxy, in the picture, and then they had another picture with that star, and that star was this big next to this other star. So it kind of went up like that, and it was supposed to give you perspective on the universe, about how the depth of the universe, like we think our sun is big from our perspective, but there are things out there that are so much bigger that we're like ants. We're not even ants, we're amoebas on ants to whatever the fuck is out there. And the other part about it is that we don't conceptualize the contents of the universe. We don't conceptualize that. If you conceptualize that, you'll know in our I don't know how many stars there are in our particular galaxy, right? But I know that in our particular solar system, we have one sun, 9 planets. So if you figure there's one sun, 9 planets, let's hold on to that model, and let's say that's the model that we're going to use throughout the rest of this, right? So there are billions of solar systems within our one galaxy. Now, conceptualize a billion. A billion, if you have a billion seconds, it takes 33 years to accumulate a billion seconds. A million seconds is like 2-3 weeks ago. Just to give you a juxtaposition to that. But a billion seconds is 33 years. So 33 years worth of planets. Let's say every sun, there are billions of suns in our galaxy, right? There's billions of suns in our galaxy, billions of other stars in our galaxy. Just in our one little galaxy. In our galaxy, there's billions of suns, like the one that we have, that one that keeps us warm and shit. There's billions of those. If every one of those stars was a second, it would take 33 years to get to the end of that, right? Stay with me. So, in our galaxy, there's billions of stars. Now, there are billions of galaxies in our universe. So you multiplied billions of stars times billions of galaxies. I don't even know what the fuck that number is. It's a Googleplex of some sort. I have no clue what that number is. But out of all, now let's keep going. Every one of those stars the billions and billions and billions and billions of stars, let's say they all have planets, at least 9, or at least 1. Do you know how much real estate that is in the universe? Do you know how much real estate? And you think that there is a being out there that's keeping track of what you do with your penis? Somebody's keeping track of whether you steal money. You think there's somebody keeping track of whether you kill somebody. You think there's somebody out there keeping track of rape. It's comforting to believe that all the people who do the things that we call bad are going to go to a place that we call hell. It's comforting. It's comforting to believe that all the people who have wronged you will be punished. It's comforting. The truth is much colder. The truth is much colder. It's a lot simpler though. It gets warmer when you realize that the truth is the truth. And it's actually a wonderful, wonderful way. It's a wonderful place for your mind to be as you walk through this life. To know that those things aren't what we have been told they are. They don't want, when I say they, the white supremacy people, see, things like rape and murder, they want that capital, they want that real estate. You can't do it, they can do it. You can't kill people because all the people belong to them, but they can kill people. You can't rape people because the people belong to them. Go into a church, though, they can rape people. Go into a jail, though, they can rape people. Go into a government building where they actually rape people. Go into the army, the armed services, where they rape people. See, it isn't about you. It's about you not doing stuff that's reserved for them. You with me? See, that's why it's a crime. You can't do it, they can do it. Crime is for poor people. Laws are for poor people. You are only charged with a crime if you are poor. And I don't mean just in money. I mean poor in relationships too. Some of y'all already know. See, if you don't have the right relationship, if you have the right relationship, let's go with the positive end of that. If you have the right relationships, you stay out of jail for as long as you can, Puffy, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly. You stay out of jail for a long time doing things that a lot of people know that you're doing that are illegal. As long as you provide value. Once you stop, once you become poor, then the rules apply to you like they do to all the rest of the niggas. So yeah, that was all I came to say to y'all today. I really don't have much more else to say. I told you I wasn't gonna hold you. Just a few things for y'all to think about, to something else. As you go out into your day, into your life, and you see somebody who does not look like you, who might be having a hard time. And when I say don't look like you, I mean persona-wise. But they might have your same skin color. You might want to be nicer to that person instead of acting the way that you would normally act. It changes with you. It'll change, but it has to begin with you. We can't continue to do the same things and expect a different result and still look for other people to bail us out of situations like this because they're not coming. I keep saying they're not coming. They will not come. This situation isn't an accident. It is exactly what they have designed it to be. Nobody is coming to save us. We have to do it ourselves. No one's coming. So, time for critical thinking skills of all sorts. There are a lot of people who are out here who are, it's interesting watching the different levels of awakenedness that there are in, my news feeds as I look at social media. And it's also a good thing to know that as you listen to people talk, people can only talk from the level of education and experience that they have. It's not necessary to get mad at somebody because they say something that you disagree with or you believe is wrong or for a fact is wrong on social media. That's the level of information they have. And arguing with people who have less information from you is just going to tire you out. It is. It's not the way to do it. We have to be mindful of conserving our energy and using it in more positive ways. Energy expending in the direction of things that we don't want to happen is like an energy leak. It's like leaving a faucet on all the time. Always allowing somebody to siphon off energy from us. We have to get our minds together and control that shit. A lot of that leaks away and they use that to their advantage. If you don't believe energy, hopefully you took a physics class and know that energy can't be destroyed. It can only be changed into something else. And any of you who have a smartphone, as I was coming here to tape this particular episode, I was listening to random things as I was getting ready, and I heard someone talking about brain waves and how the phones are able to read brain waves. And most people, I've had conversations with many of my friends about that. You think of something one day, next thing you know, you see it in your advertisement on your social media feed. we don't want to believe that they have that technology, but we see it every day. Things that you haven't even said out loud pop up on your phone. You haven't said it out loud to anybody. It was just a thought. It passed by. You let it go. Next thing you know, here it is on your phone. And we don't believe that these people can target us in ways that we can't directly see, smell, taste, or feel, or touch. We are constantly being targeted in a variety of ways, and we simply must be aware. Continuing to engage in systems that are meant to deteriorate our community from the inside out, it's time to let that go. I don't know. I don't have another way to say it. I don't have another way to ask nicely. I don't. It hasn't served you all this time. I remember as a kid growing up, I swear to God, I can't make it out of here. I remember growing up watching this show. If you've never seen it, it's an old show from the 70s called Good Times. Good Times was a wonderful show. It was about these black people that lived in the project, and they were always struggling. I mean, they were always free creaky. There was always a bill due that they couldn't pay, and they was looking for the money to come from somewhere. Somebody always had to do something, and they needed the money to come from somewhere. The rent was always late, and they needed the money. It was always they needed the money to come from somewhere. So the thing about that whole sitcom that struck me growing up as a kid was the fact that they were the mother, not the father necessarily. The mother was very religious. She was the one who was always praying for something to happen, for this to come through, for that to come through, yada, yada, yada. And I always wondered what the fuck that was for. And now I know. Program. To get people who are in that situation in the habit of continually going to take your sins, your information, your money, and your time and your energy to these places that they call worship centers or churches or mosques or whatever it is that they call it in your neighborhood, and continuing to expend your energy in that direction by way of giving your time, by way of giving your money, by way of allowing your children to participate in all the events that they can come up with. Yeah, they have you pretty tightly wound up into there, believing that if you don't do this, you're going to go to hell. If you don't bring your children down to be christened, they're going to go to hell. If you don't bring them to church every Sunday, they'll be in purgatory, and that's not a place for them. You got to get them to go to heaven. They have you believing all this bullshit, but then behind the scenes, they are ministers. Every week, there are ministers every fucking week who are getting caught with little boys and little girls in your neighborhood. How does that translate in your mind? How does that cognitive dissonance reconcile itself for you? That the people who are telling you what sin is are committing some of the most egregious ones you can think of. Let me know in the comments. I'm Uncle D. I'm out of here.